You guys are literally balancing on like 3 blueberry jars. Hi guys, so this is kind of a random video, kind of out of place. I wasn't planning on filming today. I'm literally like in lounge clothes. I'm always in lounge clothes, so I guess that's not really. Anyway, so today Patrick and I went in the woods looking for snails. It's something that I've been doing ever since we moved here, and the weather has gotten springtime right now, so it's been raining a lot. And it is officially spring here, and it's beautiful and it's warm and rainy. So I have been hunting for snails a lot. Like, we have been going hunting for snails pretty often. I go almost every day. I actually have been putting like cardboard out in my yard, and I'll put vegetables under it, and I just like to see what snails and slugs are coming and what I have on the property. Long story short, I probably mentioned this when we were in the woods looking for the snails. I don't know if you guys have seen that clip yet. If not, I'm going to be inserting a clip of that in the beginning of this video so you guys can see. Okay guys, so the most amazing thing just happened. I'm just vlogging this clip because Patrick and I are just in the woods. He's helping me look for snails. Okay, so I haven't made a video about this, so this is obviously the first video that I've made regarding snails on my property, because I thought that I just had like those regular little like flat brown snails, you know, garden snails or whatever. I didn't think I had any larger snails on my property, just because I've never seen any. I actually found one snail in my field, in my horse field, underneath a piece of cardboard, and I couldn't believe it. There was no other snails near, and she was really big. I filmed it. I ended up keeping her because she was the only one I found, and I just loved her so much, and I was like wishing I could find a second one, but I have been putting pizza boxes all over my property with vegetables under it, and I've had no luck. Okay, so we decided to come into the woods today. Ooh, look, there's a big ol' centipede, millipede, something pede. We decided to come into the woods today because it's raining, and it's been raining a lot and sprinkling, and so we decided to come in here, and I thought I would just, you know, look in the leaf litter. And I honestly kind of can't believe it, but I actually found another snail, the big ones. So I just found another one. This is the snail. They're actually kind of good size. They're kind of big. I have one of these in the house already, just one in a big enclosure, which again, I haven't shown you guys. And I actually bought a big second enclosure for them, because I hoped that one day I would find a second one and I could get them to maybe have babies or something, which would be absolutely amazing. But I just found my second one, and I am beyond happy. I am so excited. So you can see, compared to my hand, this is not those little like garlic snails or flat snails that you see where their shell is on the side and they kind of crawl flat. This is like a actual good sized snail, and this is the size of the one that's in the house, and I'm just so excited. Oh yeah, I couldn't believe it. And basically the larger snail that you see here, I believe it's this one, the bigger one, that is the snail that was on the other side of the cardboard. I absolutely couldn't believe it. Obviously I have 2 here, so that is going to be mentioned in this video. Now, I'm not a fan of taking wild animals from the wild or anything, but like, come on, these are garden snails. There's literally hundreds outside underneath my pizza boxes. I've been laying them in my yard. I have 4 right now, and I'm calling them my snail traps. So Patrick knows what they are. They have a rock on them, and I put veggies under there, and then every time it rains, they get wet. The snails love them. They come to the cardboard, and I've been checking them religiously. I literally check them every single time it rains. So almost every other day to every like 3rd day, it seems to sprinkle, drizzle, or rain here in Tennessee. So basically for the past month, I've been searching. I've been putting pizza boxes out, putting vegetables out. I have been waiting patiently, and today, I cannot believe it, it rained. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go out and check my snail traps, meaning pizza boxes laying flat on the ground with veggies under it. I went out and checked my pizza boxes, and I didn't find obviously any of her. I found like 20, 30, 40 of the regular garden snails. They're everywhere here. We have so many snails. I love it, but they're really small, and that's like not what I want. You know, I want like bigger snails. Since I found her a month ago, I did decide to get this glass tank, which I'm going to show you guys. Snails are a really hard animal to have and to get unless you find them on your property in your state. You can't cross state lines and buy them. So like, if someone had snails that I wanted in another state, I can't cross state lines and get them from them. It's really unfortunate. The United States has a lot of really dumb snail laws, but I mean, they do it because of agriculture, because so many snails ravage gardens and they hurt agriculture because they love to eat vegetables and greens, which I mean, it makes sense, but also it sucks because there's super strict snail laws because they breed so easily and they have massive clutches. So whenever you get snails and they breed, if they're not a native snail that's like already in your yard that you can release and it's not illegal, you can't release them. So you have to like cull the eggs by freezing or something. It's a whole thing. I've done a lot of research on this, if you can't tell, for years and years, because I have wanted snails, like bigger snails, not like the little bitty garden snails. I've wanted big snails for a really long time. So that's why I'm making this video. I'm so excited. So Patrick and I went out there on the four-wheeler and I got on the ground and I just started searching, and after about 10 minutes I found one more of her. I'm so excited. So now I have 2 and we are going to be setting up an enclosure for them today. Basically the longest intro in the entire world. A little bit of background on my snail situation, how I found her, how I now have 2. So I am actually going to be setting them up in their own enclosure. This is a ReptiZoo enclosure here. It's brand new. We are about to unbox this, and I'm going to lower the camera down so you won't be able to see my face anymore. I'm in my kitchen, literally just in my kitchen. So I'm going to go on and unbox this. I've ordered 2 now. They both came in perfect. They're not broken or anything. They package them really well. They're very affordable. I'll leave a link for this enclosure in the description down below. If I'm not sponsored by this company, I don't know who this company is. I just found them on Amazon and it was a great snail enclosure because the top is ventilated, so it's super ventilated, but the holes are really tiny. And there is a feed and mist trap on the top that opens up easily and you can close it back and it slides open. It's so nice. It's such a nice tank. So it's just a really nice tank, and I love the top of this tank because it does have that sliding top. Slides super easily. But let's say that your snails are on the grate, which is really tiny, no babies are getting through there, but if your snails are climbing up here, which mine do, all you have to do is pop open the little feed trap and look at that little lid, and you can mist and feed and just drop the food, and you can drop romaine, carrots, strawberries, and then you can also spray and mist them without them escaping. I really love this feature. Honestly, I really love these tanks. We are gonna go on and set this tank up. So here is the little glass tank here. Like I said, I really love these tanks. This is my second one and I love it. The first thing we're gonna put in is Eco Earth. I'm using Eco Earth right now because they're doing great with it. I have it in the other snail tank and she's been in there for, like I said, over 3 weeks, probably almost a month. We're gonna put a pretty deep layer of the Eco Earth in here. That way they can put their eggs into the soil. I'm now gonna moisten it really good. This is just some dechlorinated water in a reptile spray bottle. Snails love moisture, so it's really important they seek moisture out. That's why when it rains and the water soaks in the ground, they all come up to the surface. And whenever it's dry, they go back down. So when I was actually doing some propagating of some plants, so I had a bunch of these left over. This is a pretty good sized pot, so I'm only gonna put 1 in here, but I'm gonna bury it a little bit into here with some of the Eco Earth in there, and they will love to go in there, and I think that's going to be really fun for them. The next thing I'm going to actually put in there is some moss that I got out of my woods today. I'm not worried about anything on the moss. Honestly, I'm not, because that's where I found them. Like, they've already been outside. They're from outside. So I'm just going to put some of this moss in here and keep it moist. Obviously, I'm going to have to swap it out. And I would obviously like to buy some moss from the reptile stores, but I don't have any right now. So we're just gonna put this moss in here. The next thing I'm gonna put in there is this piece of bark. I found this in my yard. It's off one of my trees. I've actually had this in the house about a week. I grabbed it about a week ago. I was gonna put it in the other snail tank, but since I'm probably gonna be releasing them, we're gonna put this in here for my larger snails. So we'll just sit this here on that moss. The next thing we're putting in there is a piece of cuttle bone. This is a cuttle bone or a Zoo-Med turtle bone. It is basically straight calcium. We're gonna put this in here because snails need calcium. They really benefit from it. So we are actually going to break off a really big chunk of this cuttle bone and put it in there, and they can munch on it. And I'm also gonna put in some eggshell, but I put in the eggshell with their food because I like to throw that away every other day if they don't eat it. So all I'm gonna do actually is take this, break a big chunk off just like that, and we're just gonna sit this right in there for them. So I have these little containers here. This is actually what I keep my snail veggies in the fridge. Anytime I make a sandwich or we use any veggies, carrot, for anything, I will just take clippings of the veggies and stick them in these little containers. and then I'll grab a container out. I have a bunch of these. Pickle's Pets actually gave me these. Funny enough, we were dropping her off at the airport. She gave me these after we gave her a ride to the airport a few years back. I can't believe it's been years, literally like 2 or more years. It's probably been like 2 years since then, but I kept them because these are super handy. So I actually use the lid as a feeding bowl. I believe these came from the Dollar Tree, and so I actually use this as a feeding bowl, and then I have a bunch of these, and then I keep the veggies in these to keep them fresh in the fridge. So I'm gonna go on and put these veggies that I chopped up earlier on here as a little feeding dish, and we're gonna put that in the enclosure for them. Here's a big chunk of cucumber. They absolutely love cucumber. They go crazy for it. Here's a big chunk of romaine. We'll put that in there. They love romaine. Here's some bell pepper, fresh bell pepper. I just chopped that up this morning. And then we have a piece of carrot. And then we also have, like I said, that cuttle bone, which I'll lay right there beside it. And then I'm gonna give them a chunk of egg as well. So here is half an eggshell. Patrick eats eggs, so we do have some eggshells. And then of course I am getting chickens really soon, within the next couple weeks probably. And we'll put that with the food. And they actually do munch on it. They kind of like it. You don't have to do this if you give them cuttle bone, you don't have to put egg in there, but they really do love eating and chewing on the eggshell. All right, the last thing to do is to mist this enclosure down really, really well. Super, super good. You're not gonna be able to see it as well from the front, but we are going to mist this down super good. All right, guys, here is an overview of the snail's new enclosure. You can see we've got some wood here, some wood chunks here. We've got some moss, which they're really gonna love. I know they're gonna love that moss. Back there, we have the terracotta pot, some moss, some logs, a hide they can go in, and then I actually do have leaf litter. That's the only thing I forgot to put in here. They love leaves, like fallen leaves. So I'm gonna go get the leaf litter and put that in here as well. But for now, this is great. And then of course, there's their veggies and their cuttle bone. And this is gonna be such a good enclosure for them. I'm really excited about this. All right, here is the biggest baby. Oh man, I really love them so, so much. I can't tell you guys how excited I am. You can see that she's about the size of my thumb, so she's a pretty good size. So we're gonna go on and put her in the enclosure, and the other one as well. Wow, they found the romaine really fast. They're like taking it. Oh my goodness, they're so strong. Wow. They found that romaine so fast. They're so cute, I love them. Here's to give you guys an idea of what size they are compared to the tank. It's a really good size tank for them, I believe. And they have really deep eco-earth now, so I'm really excited. Look how long her body is. This is crazy. I think they're really gonna love it in here. It's really important that you change out your snail's food every single day. They usually eat all the greens, but sometimes they leave a little bit of bell pepper or carrot. So I swap it out every day just to make sure it's always fresh. This is pretty much what it looks like. I really love it. I think they're gonna love it. And I am gonna let you guys know the second they lay a clutch, I am going to vlog it for you guys. Alright guys, that is it for my snail enclosure setup video. You guys can't really see in there, but thank you guys for watching. I will let you guys know if they lay a clutch. These two snails are going to be the only snails species in this tank. The other tank does actually have a couple clutches in there, but I believe it's from the common garden snails. I'm going to let them hatch. We'll see what they are. Obviously, because if one of the clutches was one of my snails, one of these snails is, then I obviously want to know. So I'm going to see what the babies are. But I'm more than likely going to be releasing all of those snails back into the garden because there's hundreds of them already out there. It's not a big deal. But these two snails are now mine. I'm keeping them and I hope I find more. It would be amazing, but I really hope they have babies. It would just be the greatest thing ever since they're so hard to find in my yard. I will see you guys next time, and I'll keep you updated on if they lay babies or not. Be kind. Bye.